Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told I had a voice of radio. So today, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about Alolan Ninetails. You see, we've done a couple of videos lately where we've mentioned Alolan Ninetails, but we've been looking at it in the context of, hey, here's how good it is with Buzzwole, and hey, here's how good it is in this weird Decidui list. But you see, we do need to have a video about Alolan Ninetails generally, because it's not just a card for Buzzwole decks, and it's not just a card for Decidui decks. It is potentially one of the best and most impactful cards in the upcoming metagame. Now, I'll be honest, when I did my analysis of Alolan Ninetales when it was revealed, and I'll pop a link to this one in the description so you can check it out, I was not as high on it as a lot of people. A lot of people were telling me it was basically borderline broken, and I was like, whoa. It's a good card, but it's not borderline broken. But if we have a look at the Tokyo Champions League in Japan this past weekend, it's actually proven to be kind of over the top good. Third place, Buzzwole, Lycanroc, Alolan Ninetails. Okay. 7th place, Buzzwole, Alolan Ninetails. 10th place, Zoroark, Alolan Ninetails. 17th place, Decidui, Alolan Ninetails. So not only did it see 4 top cut spots in the top 32, which, for anyone wondering, is exactly 1 in 4, but it also did it in 4 different decks. Now, you could say, well, hang on a second, one of them is Buzzwole Ninetails, the other one is Buzzwole Lycanroc Ninetails, and okay, I'll grant you that. But Buzzwole Ninetails is not the same deck as Zoroark Ninetails, which is not the same deck as Decidui Ninetails. They are very different decks, and what this tells us about Alolan Ninetails is, it's not one of those cards which is good in X deck. To be blunt, it's closer to something like Octillery than it is something like Buzzwole. Buzzwole is a good attacker used as a good attacker, whereas Octillery is a support card which can be used in almost any deck. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Alolan Ninetales is going to be in every deck ever, but I am telling you you're going to see it in a wide variety of decks with a wide variety of functions. I suppose at this stage I should remind you what it does, and it really is the ability that makes it broken here. When you evolve up into Alolan Ninetales, you search your deck for any 2 item cards and put them into your hand, and that might seem like, cool. But it's so much better than that, because it just gives you consistency. It means you can play tech item cards like Enhanced Hammer and guarantee that you will find them on the right turn. It means you can play stage 2s and know that you are going to hit that rare candy on the perfect turn that you are going to hit it. Now, as for the attacks, they're fine. 1 fairy, 1 colourless, 70 to the active, 70 to the bench is alright. And then 1 fairy, 1 colourless, instant KO any Ultra Beast is really good, but only against Ultra Beast decks. Buzzwole's still big. Blacephalon looks like it might be the best deck in the format. Check my video about that, I'll pop a link in the description. I'll pop a link to the Alolan Ninetales videos I've looked at recently in the description as well, so check them out for all of that. It's all in the description. Good times. So clearly, an attack which can instantly KO Ultra Beast seems like a very, very good thing. And it's not just if you're playing Fairy Energy, because there is actually a Unit Energy with Fairy in, and the great thing about the Unit Energy is that it's also got Darkness and Fighting. So if you're playing a Darkness deck, you can tech in Alolan Ninetales easily. If you're playing a Fighting deck like Buzzwole, you can tech it in, and it can be an attacker as well. And let's not forget we got Counter Gain coming out. It's a tool card where if it's attached to one of your Pokemon and you're behind on prizes, you lose in the game. It reduces the attack cost of that Pokemon by 1 colourless energy. But remember, when you evolve into Alolan Ninetales, you can search it out. So you search it out and then you attach it, and then it's a single energy attack. And for a lot of Pokemon, Counter Gain is good, but it's you only really want to play 1 or 2 and you're struggling to find it at the right time. And the overwhelming thing that's amazing about Alolan Ninetails is you never have to worry about finding something at the right time. You can play one counter gain in your deck. You're against a Blacephalon, you evolve up into Alolan Ninetails, search for a counter gain and an energy, and you've got the KO. Now, in terms of energy, we actually had a look in yesterday's video at Energy Spinner. A weird kind of card that we hadn't looked at before, but we don't have Energy Search at the moment, and we don't have Professor's Letter. It lets you search for a basic energy, or if it's your first turn of the game and you're going second, it lets you search for free. Most of the time that's not going to be an issue, but, you know, worth pointing out just in case. So if you find yourself against something like a Blacephalon, you evolve into Alolan Ninetails, and then you just search counter gain and Energy Spinner, and you guarantee you've got the KO. That is consistency that almost no other Pokemon can match at the moment. And we really do need to point out that it does evolve from Alolan Vulpix. And there's a couple great things about this. Firstly, it's a water Pokemon, so Brooklet Hill can be used to search it out. That's really good. Secondly, it's got Beacon for 0 energy, and remember the great thing about 0 energy attacks. Turn 1, you can search it out, maybe using a Professor Round's Lecture, lets you search for free Pokemon with 60 HP or less and put them into your hand, or using a Brooklet Hill. And then, as if that's not cool enough, you can attach an energy to your active and actually retreat manually while still using Beacon, which allows you to search for any 2 Pokemon and put them into your hand for 0 energy. Now, for Stage 2 decks, this is ridiculous. So if we go back to the Decidueye deck, and it was 2016 World Champion Shintaro Ito who really made hay with this at the Tokyo Champions League, because what you do is you Alolan Vulpix for a Decidueye and an Alolan Ninetails, and then you've already got the Stage 2 in hand. Alolan Ninetails will search for the rare candy, and you get a guaranteed Stage 2. I've played Alolan Vulpix in a bunch of decks, and you search for the Stage 2 beautifully, but you've got to have the rare candy. Alolan Vulpix means you don't have to care about that. I mean, going away from Stage 2s, let's have a look at Buzzwole. Now, you can go and look at the video if you want this in great detail, but we said that there are 2 amazing things that you can do in Buzzwole decks with Alolan Ninetails. Number 1, B-String. B-String is a phenomenal card that lets you search your deck for 2 basic energy and attach them to your Pokemon. You attach both of them to the same Ultra Beast. It's crazy! But it's only when you've got 3 or 4 prizes remaining, and this is the number 1 takeaway I want you to have from this video about how amazing Alolan Ninetails is. You are no longer hoping you hit it when you need to. Enhanced Hammer gets grabbed when your opponent attaches that Beast Energy and you really want to get rid of it. Counter Gain gets grabbed when you're behind on prizes. And B-String gets grabbed when your opponent has the requisite number of prizes remaining. And the other thing is Custom Catcher. Now, Custom Catcher, if you play 1, it's a Rangaroo's ability. Draw until you got 3 cards in hand. If you play 2, it's an old school Pokemon catcher with no coin flip. You just grab a Pokemon off the bench. And I said this is great in Zoroark decks, but in other decks it's going to be too difficult to draw 2 of them at once. But not in Alolan Ninetails. You evolve up, search for 2 Custom Catcher, you've got a guaranteed gusting effect. Most of the time, the annoying thing about Guzma is that it's a supporter. So you can play a Cynthia to grab 6 cards, but if one of those is a Guzma, you can't play it for a gusting effect. But with Alolan Ninetales, you play a Cynthia, draw an Alolan Ninetales, use that to search for both of your Custom Catcher, and you're off and rolling. But the deck that we didn't really talk about too much was Zoroark Alolan Ninetales. And again, this is just another Pokemon which is so much better with Alolan Ninetales. So you're really reliant on double colourless energy. Okay, but you can't search double colourless energy. But you can use Energy Lotto. Now, Energy Lotto only lets you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and you've got to have an energy there or you don't get it. Okay, but it's better than nothing else. So you can use Alolan Ninetales to grab an Energy Lotto so that you can then hopefully search using Zoroark. You use 2 or 3 trades if you don't find the double colourless energy. Use Alolan Ninetales to get an Energy Lotto, and after 2 or 3 trades, the chances are there will be one in the first 7 cards. And if you found double colourless energy while using the trade ability on Zoroark, then cool. grab something else. Maybe you play a single copy of bodybuilding dumbbells to give you a little more HP, and you grab it at the right time. Maybe you play a counter gain to turn Zoroark into a single energy attacker, as long as you're behind on prizes. And here's the thing, right? We've got Black Market Prism Star coming out. And the thing about Black Market Prism Star is that it reduces the amount of prizes your opponent takes off a Darkness Pokemon by 1, but only if you've got a Darkness energy attached. So if you're behind on prizes, use Alolan Ninetails to grab a counter gain, attach it to Zoroark, and now Riotous Beating is a single energy attack. We'll make that single energy a Darkness energy, and now Black Market Prism Star says it only gives up 1 prize. I have not even scratched the surface of how amazing Alolan Ninetales is shaping up to be in the format. It's an out and out, no question 5 Wossie card, and I'm embarrassed, frankly. The fact that I didn't go over the top enthusiastic in my original video. And look, I turned around the other day and told you about how I was right about Onyx. It's only fair that I turn around and tell you when I'm wrong, and I was wrong about Alolan Ninetales. I never said it was a bad card, but I don't think I realised quite how redonkulous it is. I mean, just to recap some of the amazing things, it means that you can get stage 2s way more reliably. It means you can use Custom Catcher very, very reliably. It means you can use things like Beast Ring at the perfect time. You can search for Counter Gain and Energy Spinner and get something like Alolan Ninetales rolling in a single turn. We haven't even mentioned stuff like Counter Catcher here, which is an amazing item card. It's a gusting effect, but only if you're behind on prizes. Seen very little play so far, because it's hard to know you're going to get it when you're behind on prizes, and it's a pointless card otherwise. But that's fine, because Alolan Ninetales says you will. And I'm just going to make one more point, because I could keep going for 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes on this card. Garboda's gone, which means the only way to turn off this ability is to have a Slacking in the active, and no one's playing Slacking, or a Glaceon in the active, and very few people are playing Glaceon. So it's even a reliable ability. You are going to see it popping up in so many decks and leading them to success. We already saw it at really the first opportunity. We saw it making top 32 in Zoroark decks, Buzzwole decks, and Decidueye decks, and I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, they are not the only ones in which it's going to appear. It's crazy. So now it's over to you guys. I want to know all the cool uses you can find for it. Tell me how good you think it's going to be. Go nuts in the comment section, but please do remember the rule. Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves. Until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.